The scheming woman, confident that she was about to become the wife of the future richest man, poured a cup of water onto the computer of an employee who was watching cartoons. Little did she know, they were actually researching the latest 3D animation. Her actions ended up completely destroying the company's core. But the scheming woman boldly declared that she was the CEO's fiancé, and that she was here today to help her fiancé clean up the company and get rid of the rotten apples. She even publicly fired several key employees, unaware this action would lead to her being liable for billions in compensation. It turns out that just a few days earlier, the scheming woman had come to meet the CEO for a blind date. Before the date began, she laid out a few demands. The first was to have all the company's assets handed over to her. The second was for him to buy her a luxury car and give her $2 million a month for pocket money. The third was that their first child must have her last name. The final demand was to arrange a high-paying executive position with $1 million salary for her brother. During a remote call, the CEO simply told his assistant no problem. Then he rushed off to discuss business with partners. However, this led the scheming woman to believe that she was now the future richest wife. The next day, she showed up at the CEO's company, acting all high and mighty. She even fired a few employees who were watching cartoons. Meanwhile, the CEO learned that someone was there to reorganize his company. He mistakenly thought it was Ms. Chang, who had come for an inspection, so he instructed his secretary to treat her with the utmost care. Her orders were to be followed without question. The assistant had no choice but to let the fired employees leave. Seeing this, the scheming woman was full of smug satisfaction. She then confidently walked into the CEO's office to experience the power for herself. She even arranged positions for her brother and sister. At that moment, the secretary said there was a payment request that required the CEO's signature. However, the scheming woman, wanting to save her future husband the trouble, signed and stamped the documents without even looking at them. She then learned there was still a pile of documents waiting to be signed. The scheming woman immediately instructed the assistant to make her a cup of coffee. After that, she took the opportunity to sign and stamp every document. The assistant, seeing this, felt like the sky was falling. After all, if one clause goes wrong, there will be sky-high compensation. Then the president called to inform her that the president would soon visit for an inspection. As long as they treated it with care, they could successfully secure the deal. After all, this was the result of 5 years of hard work across the company. Everyone decided to give a warm reception to help launch the company's software. Soon after, the president arrived at the business department for the inspection, but was greeted with a chaotic scene. There were people playing cards and chatting, but no one was working. Furious, the president turned around and left. At that moment, the sister of the scheming woman, now appointed as the general manager, rushed over. Seeing the partnership document, she mistakenly thought they were here to do business. The president took a look and knew this was not someone who could be easily dealt with, so she demanded that her superior come meet her. However, the scheming woman replied that she was the highest-ranking person here. She claimed that those who did business were no better than beggars.